everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of the Marvel edition, of Castles, Capes, and Clones podcast. Today we'll be talking about Wandavision. We'll be talking about who's going to be doing the new score for Doctor Strange 2, and more. We are with Castles, Capes, and Clones, where we discuss everything in the Disney universe. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel, hit the bell for notifications, and do like this post. I'm Loren, and I'm here with my cousin and co-pilot, Rich. How's it going?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm counting down the hours for WandaVision. I just realized just a little bit ago that tonight is the night that they are going to have a new episode of WandaVision, and I'm so excited.
It's supposed to be an hour, so.
Oh, really?
It's supposed to be like the last 3 are supposed to be an hour, so each. So.
Yeah, it feels like they're getting progressively longer. Although the last episode seems so short.
It's still short. Like last week was 30 minutes.
Oh, is it?
Well, okay. I think it was like 38, but that's 8 minutes worth of credits or something.
Yeah.
Like people said, it's like credits are like super long, so it doesn't really count.
Yeah.
But like there was so much that went on that just felt like a 6-minute episode, but it was like a half an hour long episode.
Yeah.
So, I think we're getting to it. I think we're headed towards, the climax of the story, and then.
Yes.
What's cool is that I was looking at this site, and literally from now until 2022, every single week there's a new Marvel thing.
I know, it's not crazy.
Right? Like So like if you didn't think Disney Plus is worth it before,
mm-hmm.
If you're a Marvel fan, it's totally worth it.
Yeah, it's gonna be insane, like insanely crazy. And like you said, we are going to be eventually having to do both Star Wars and Marvel at the same time.
Yeah, at some point, because literally every week there is something going on with Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
And then at some point this year, we're going to get Book of Boba Fett. So at least we know that then we'll have at least 2 shows going on at once, along with our this podcast and our other ones. So
yeah,
we're going to have like a daily show at some point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just of stuff that of shows that we want to talk about.
Imagine if we did one about Disney shows.
I know. Oh my god. I don't know. There might come a day when we're gonna have to do those. But fortunately, the
might need to find some co-hosts and stuff too.
I know.
Yeah.
They're fortunately the Disney shows are not quite as in depth as a Marvel or Star Wars show, so at least we can breathe easy for a little bit.
For a little bit until, like, what would they?
Until
they announce the Disney Princess Avengers, where it's like Anna, Elsa, Mulan,
right,
Raya, like all in one show, fighting the forces of evil in a villains show.
I would totally watch the show.
I would just watch a villain show if it's just like Ursula and like Maleficent and Scar,
Evil
like just all the
Queen.
Disney like cartoon villains just hanging out, like
Hades.
just like the oh my god, what Legion of Doom?
Yeah. I was like the Hall of Doom.
Hall of Doom. Wait, no.
Yeah.
The Brotherhood of Doom. No,
right.
That's not either.
The Brotherhood of Evil Doom.
Yeah. I mean, just even if it was a show just like on that little bit from Wreck-It Ralph 2, all the princesses is hanging out.
That would be awesome.
I would totally watch that.
Yeah, I would definitely watch that.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to the news. Sticking with WandaVision, it is apparently ruling the universe as it is the #1 television series worldwide right now. And it started off at #6, and it rose slowly, and then the episode with Evan Peters just shattered new records.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah, I'm getting people that don't really watch Marvel stuff, ask me questions about it. So it's
yeah.
cool. It's like it's the new water cooler show.
Yeah.
So.
I told you about the woman at my dialysis center who, like, all of a sudden she wants to talk Marvel now because of WandaVision.
Right.
And yeah, she's like, I've never been a Marvel fan, but now because of WandaVision I am. And that's a pretty cool thing to say,
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's just, it's compelling storytelling. It's the same. It's funny because like people who are like that, that's how comic books are. Like they get you. Yeah, flashy costumes and whatever, but it's really, after the, I guess, like early era of comics were just for kids. Once those kids kind of grew up and started writing stories themselves, it's really like a monthly drama, right?
Yeah.
Every single, like, that's why we kept going all these years. Like and we had to wait a month. We'd read 22 pages of a comic book.
Right.
And then cliffhanger and for 30 days until the next issue comes out. And that's why we kept doing it. Like, it's not because they're like kiddie stories. These are compelling stories.
Yeah.
But they're designed to bring you in almost at any point.
Right.
Like you pick up issue 322, you can get something out of it and then be like, oh man. Now I need to get issue 300 and whatever, like the ones before it, and then keep going afterwards to see what's going on.
And they're not stories for guys either nowadays. I mean, back then they were written for guys, but now, I mean, there are so many women that love Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we can even see that through our decade plus of going to Comic-Con. The people there started getting way more evened out.
Right.
So it's cool.
Yeah.
Age of the Geek is becoming it's not big as big of a stigma to be a nerd.
Right.
Nerdism could be for everyone.
Sticking with WandaVision, so Marvel Studios is doing the Mandalorian kind of thing, and they are releasing a series called Assembled: The Making of WandaVision, which is coming to Disney Plus on March 12th. I'm really excited about this because I don't think that Marvel has really done an in-depth show about their making of anything.
Yeah, no, they the only thing they kind of done are promotional versions of it. Like even like their retrospective thing, it's just really like clips and like little things here or there. But if it's going to be like kind of the way they've done it for the Mandalorian, it should be really informative and a little more meat to it than that.
I'm hoping it's not like a bunch of puff pieces, but given some of the documentaries that they've done with 616, Behind the Mask,
if it's any of that level, then
it
should be good. And it sounds like this is what's going to happen after every series.
Yeah. I mean, they have to be collecting, footage and stuff like that for shows. Yeah.
I mean, this is called, the fact that it's called Assembled. Avengers and something. I was like, it's not a title that's specific to WandaVision.
Right.
So I feel like I mentioned earlier, like there's going to be Marvel stuff every week. Like this is kind of forecasting that there's going to be a show like this after every series. So after WandaVision, the 1 week that there's no new episode, and then before Winter Soldier starts, it's this. And then the next week, Falcon the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
6 episodes of Falcon the Winter Soldier, 1 week with nothing. They throw in one of these, then there's your content for that week, and then the next week after that is Loki.
Right.
It sounds like you can go like that until like it's Loki, then What If, then Ms. Marvel, I think.
Yeah, I think Ms. Marvel's next after that.
And then I forget what's after that. But like there's gonna be stuff every week, at least until the time being. So who knows?
Right. So crazy.
Yeah.
Disney CEO Bob Chapek has said that he's flexible over a Disney Plus Premium Access, Premier Access release for Black Widow. I think that they're going to see how they do with Raya and the Last Dragon, and if they do well with it, then they might do Black Widow, because that's coming up in May.
Yeah. Like I also feel Falcon and Winter Soldier will play into the hype for it as well.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because who's the one who's taken over supposedly the role of Black Widow?
Yelena Belova, Florence Pugh's character.
Like by this time we would have met her in the movie, and she's going to be in Falcon and Winter Soldier. So I think having her, and depending what kind of how her reception is in the show, could build up more hype for Black Widow, because then you can tell like this is where you'll kind of meet her before Falcon and Winter Soldier. So I am hoping that Raya and the Last Dragon does well. It looks awesome. I think again, there's no controversy behind it, so there's not like the whole Mulan thing. And it's an original story. It's not a remake of any sort of,
Yeah, and it's an animated tale, which always does well for Disney.
Yeah, so, and it looks like action-packed, epically, epic, right? So,
hopefully. I wanted to do well just because I want Disney to do well always. So, but I would be super excited if they saw the numbers for this and said to themselves, okay, we're going to release Black Widow on Premier Access, Disney Plus.
And I would buy it. So
me too. I would definitely buy it.
But
okay, so Marvel Studios is casting 2 Mayan characters for Black Panther 2. Now they don't have the characters that they give the names to are not anybody in Black Panther canon, but they can always change names and things like that. But people don't really know who these 2 characters are. So it's interesting that it will be Mayan. I wonder if when they say Mayan, are they talking about Mayans of today or Mayans of yesterday? That's another question, because it will be interesting to see if they, show a little bit of the back culture of Wakanda and maybe having some kind of something with Mayans from the day. I think that would be really interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if it's something, if they're cast as, like you said, as characters for today. Like there still could be a tie between the Mayan civilization and the Wakandan civilization. And maybe there's something that they're kind of putting into the storyline that, like there's a reason why the Wakandan civilization went on and the Mayan civilization just kind of practically disappeared.
Yeah.
But they're supposed to I was speaking like Wakanda, like the real place. They were both highly advanced civilizations for their time. I mean, one being fictional, but like if Wakanda really existed in the way it does exist in the Marvel universe, both those civilizations, along with like Atlantis, could have played a part. And there's still the whole maybe Namor shows up at some point.
Yeah, that would be
kind of
that would
interesting.
be really cool.
That Wakanda wasn't the only ancient civilization with like, a lot of technology and advanced whatever.
Right.
But it is the only one that we know that has survived. So
totally.
I know it's got to be really hard for the Black Panther crew.
Yeah, and cast.
Right. But I think, whatever they come up with, and then whatever they come up with for the Wakandan series is going to take Marvel again in another direction of storytelling. And it's
I'm super excited for the series.
Yeah. I want to see where they go with it. Like what kind of stories they're going to tell.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. With the movie, I kind of have an idea, but not really. But with the series, I just have no idea.
No idea.
Yeah.
Because it's not a thing. It's kind of like WandaVision. I don't know.
Right.
Like we can almost even though we don't know what's going to happen in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we kind of know what to expect from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which, maybe they blow our minds and it's nothing like what we thought. But I feel like that's your typical Marvel-esque thing, whereas WandaVision is definitely not a normal Marvel thing, and the Wakandan series could also not be a typical Marvel kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, especially with Coogler at the helm.
Yeah.
I think that he'll definitely bring in a lot of aspects that are not normally seen in Marvel films. All right. Well, Zawe Action will play a villain in Captain Marvel 2. Now, people don't know who she will be playing, but
there's a lot of speculation.
Yeah.
Moonstone is one of them. Given, because it's I think one of the problems that people have with like Superman and also Captain Marvel has is like they're very powerful characters. So it's almost like you had to find some way to have an antagonist that causes an issue, right? So Moonstone is one of those things that could go toe to toe with it. The other two that I saw, one was now I can't remember. She's a Skrull. She's like part of royalty. I forget.
Say that again.
I can't remember if she's like part of some kind of royal blood line in this for the Skrulls.
I think she's probably the Queen Skrull.
Yeah, I can't remember her name.
Yeah, I can't remember her name too, but
I want to say that's with a V, but I don't remember. But like, she's also another one because we know there's a Secret Invasion story series coming in, so that can play into that.
Yeah.
Another one is she could be part of the Shi'ar.
I would love that. I really want them to introduce the Shi'ar.
As Deathbird, is that her name?
Yeah, Deathbird.
Yeah. And then the other one is Rogue.
Interesting.
Because
Yeah,
the
because they
rogue
had
that most people know is the rogue that got her powers from Ms. Marvel, Captain
right.
Marvel. So that could also be part of it. And then, Rogue is a popular mutant. So
They would have to, though, introduce Rogue first before they introduce her as a villain in Captain Marvel too.
I mean,
Because, or I guess, well, I guess they wouldn't have to. I mean, they could introduce her in this movie and then have her absorb the powers and the memories of Carol Danvers.
yeah.
So I guess
I mean
that,
that
yeah,
out of all of them, I feel it's a long shot only because are they going to do
yeah,
another Carol Danvers forgets her past thing story so
right,
soon? That's the
right,
only reason why I think it might not be.
yeah.
Unless
I
they
think
kind of
Moonstone
change
is
a
a
little.
good Moonstone is a good one.
I think the more likely could be either Moonstone or the Queen Skrull. Because
Mm-hmm.
we know there's a tie. Like, sure, he has a tie to the Skrulls.
Right.
So I think one of those two could be it, or it could be someone totally
Actually,
new.
now that you say it again, the Queen Skrull could be. I mean, she's incredibly powerful,
Yeah,
and she could go toe to toe with Carol Danvers.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
she doesn't have the same power set, but
no,
she's very crafty and
yeah,
sneaky and all this stuff.
yeah. I still go back to Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the
Mm-hmm.
cartoon, which is on Disney Plus. Um, it's a great. It was like the animated series that came out after like the Avengers movie.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about Avengers Assemble. That's the one that came after it.
Mm-hmm.
But Earth's Mightiest Heroes, I think, does a good job of kind of telling you the story of the Avengers, and especially if you want to get to really know the Kree and the Skrull, the whole secret
Yeah.
invasion thing, and also a little bit more about Captain Marvel, because she plays a role in there.
Mm-hmm.
I still think it was a great series. So if
Yeah.
you want
It
to a
was
little
really
bit
good.
more, and one of the storylines involves the Queen Skrull, so
Right. Right.
um, it's a good kind of place to
To kind
look
of
at.
chomp your teeth
Yeah,
on
it's also a
Marvel.
pretty good line with Kang the Conqueror. So
Mm-hmm.
before Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania comes out, like it's a good kind of like look into that. And they also have another version of the Guardians of the Galaxy in that show.
That's a good idea. I mean, because people won't read the comics, but they may watch something animated.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, that's it. I didn't think about suggesting that to other people.
Yeah,
I'll
I
have to
mean,
do that.
again, great storytelling. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of you can kind of almost like it's not quite the Avengers from the movies, but it's close
Yeah.
to them. I think that's why it's a good transition. If you know them from the movies, they're not too far off from those versions. It's different, but it's not totally like a different version of them.
Mm-hmm.
It feels very familiar, but it's a good combination of what they are in the comics and what they are in the movies.
Yeah.
And I think it's like 2-3 seasons, so and it's a
Right.
good variety of Marvel Avengers stories.
Yeah.
The Secret Invasion, I said Kang Conqueror. We get more with uh, the Kree in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of kind of like the other characters in the Hulk kind of canon.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and like definitely more Captain Marvel in there, and her origin in the comics is there. Uh,
Right.
but it's a fun show.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Mhm.
All right, moving on. Danny Elfman is going to be doing the score for Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness, and I actually love Michael Giacchino's score, and
Yeah.
I often have the theme in my head. Do 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 do. I, Nobody should ever say that Marvel doesn't do good music because it's always in my head. And when I go to the California Adventure to the Hollywood part and they're blaring the Marvel music, I know exactly what that is from. And, anyway, the point is sad to see that Michael Giacchino isn't doing it, but I love Danny Elfman. And I'm sure that Michael Giacchino is not suffering.
I mean, he's doing everything, right? So,
Yeah.
I'm just curious, like, what is it that is it he's doing something else? That's why he's not doing it, or is it we want it to sound different because it's a different feel?
Yeah, I don't know. Who scored Spider-Man? Did Danny Elfman do that? No, I would have.
No,
Yeah, I
no.
would
Danny
have
Elfman
known.
has a very distinct.
Yeah,
Um, man,
maybe they want like a distinct sound that is very, I don't know, carnivalesque. That's Whenever I think of his music, I think of carnivals. I don't know why.
nice.
But if you listen
It
to his
was Michael
music,
Giacchino. It was Michael Giacchino did Spider-Man.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was talking about the original, the Sam Raimi ones.
Oh, those ones?
Yeah, because Sam Raimi, was the director on the original Spider-Man movies.
I think it
So
maybe
I didn't know if maybe he.
it was Danny Elfman.
Yeah, can you look that up? Because it's going to bug me. Please hold. An operator will be with you shortly.
Yes, Danny Elfman.
Did score it?
Yeah.
Okay, so then that's probably why they worked together on superhero films, and that's probably why.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Now. That does make sense now.
Yeah.
Huh. Like, for some reason, I didn't remember that he did Spider-Man.
I know.
But
I
now
don't
that I
either.
think about it, I'm like, no, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I can hear it. So I guess that's could be why.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I also think this movie is going to be nuts.
Oh yeah.
So maybe it'll fit that kind of thing.
It seems like it's going to be the linchpin of this phase of Marvel movies. So
Yeah,
it's going to be bananas.
definitely.
Yeah. All right. So The Punisher and Jessica Jones have finally reverted back to Marvel Studios. Now, Daredevil had previously, I don't know about Luke Cage or
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist, yeah. But I know that Punisher and Jessica Jones and Daredevil are now all back at Marvel Studios. Yay!
I don't hope I'm still hopeful that we'll get them properly into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, even though I guess technically they kind of are part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, but I mean, like in a more meaningful way now.
Yeah.
Like I really want to see her on She-Hulk.
Yes.
Yeah, because she can do, Kristen Ritter can do both drama and comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And if She-Hulk is a comedy, I mean, you could totally see her do a more comedic side of Jessica Jones.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just totally drunken, Jessica Jones type character. I think that she would be great.
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense to have her and also have Matt Murdock here at some point. I mean, they're both lawyers, so
yeah, and they know each other.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that is working for them.
Who knows? Maybe we'll get a proper Defenders
Right.
cinematic universe version of them.
I wonder if they'll eventually develop Punisher like R-rated films like with Deadpool. If they'll do, you know, like if they're doing R-rated movies for Deadpool, why wouldn't they do it for some other characters? I mean, it would seem to me that the Punisher would work best in an R-rated setting.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's not a character for kids.
No. And you don't want him to be a character for kids.
No, not at all.
Yeah. I mean, that would be great. I think. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, in comic news, Marvel is spotlighting some great variant covers by artist Jen Bartel. I cannot speak today. And celebrating Women's History Month. Now they've got, and she's done some diverse covers, having She-Hulk, Patty Walker. I know she had Shuri. I forget.
Emma
She's
Frost.
One of the Emma Frost. One of the original Doctor Strange's. Sorcerer Supremes. She's Native American.
Yeah.
I forget her name.
That other Spider.
Yeah, Cindy Moon.
And Spider-Woman.
Spider-Woman.
Jessica Drew?
Drew, yeah. Jessica Drew. And I like the way that she drew all of them. They're not particularly boobesque, or whatever, scantily clad women. They're really like normal looking women, which is always so great in the comics, because for so long, they had been objectified. And Behind the Mask is a great documentary that kind of goes into Marvel's history with all of that, and it's a good time.
Yeah. I like how those documentaries don't skirt around, the shortcomings of how things used to be.
Right. Exactly.
They own it, but then it also shows you just how far Marvel has come since those days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So definitely, if you can include the link that I put in there on the description, so that people can check out these covers, because they are worth looking at.
Definitely.
And the only other thing I want to talk about is that, so Marvel has been spotlighting Billy and Tommy Maximoff on their website, as well as Monica Rambeau, which is awesome. And if anybody wants more information about these characters, definitely check out the Marvel website. But I think it's interesting that Billy and Tommy are getting, such attention. There's also the CCC exclusive. One of the exclusives is going to be Billy and Tommy. And I'm like,
wait, what is it? The
ECCC, Emerald City Comic Con.
Oh, like
ECC.
I'm like, what is that?
I know. ECCC.
Emerald City Comic Con. All right,
Yeah.
That makes sense now. I think I'm not used to seeing it. I'm not used to hearing it said.
Yeah. ECCC. I don't know. Yeah.
But if I saw it on the thing, I'd be like, oh, okay.
Right. So the exclusive is supposed to be Billy and Tommy as from the Halloween episode.
From the Halloween episodes. I've seen mock-ups of that, so it's coming. And also with I saw the Quicksilver. Well, yeah.
I've seen the quick.
Pietro
I want the Quicksilver
Halloween
too.
version. When I was at downtown Disney yesterday, they have a WandaVision kind of photo op.
Yes.
But then there's some WandaVision merch. They had the black and white Funko Pops of Wanda and Vision.
Yeah, I have
those.
There's
like a T-shirt of Vision's, just like his costume, but like like his costume, not like the MCU version of him,
right?
Like the comic version.
Like they got the yellow diamond.
Yeah.
In the middle of
yeah. I was looking at going like, if you really didn't know what that is, it just was like a shirt.
Right. Right.
But yeah, and like what's that? What's the theater that has the previews in that section?
The Mickey's PhilharMagic.
Yeah. That's where the photo op is.
Right. I've seen
that. And the marquee, they have like WandaVision, and then it kind of goes into occasionally it goes into a glitch kind of looking thing, and then it has like an old timey.
Oh, that's cool.
Kind of like a marquee thing. But yeah, the photo op is like the backdrop is like the couch and whatever, but then you can take a picture through either like through forced perspective, through a television, or through a computer from the 80s.
Yeah, that's really cool. I feel like WandaVision is kind of at that part where the Mandalorian had very little out, and now it's kind of all over the place. And I feel like, eventually there's going to be more and more merchandise for WandaVision. So
who would have thought?
Super excited about it. I know, exactly.
Those two characters.
But, yeah.
It's exciting. Like, it just goes to show the power that Marvel has and how much care and thought and love they have of their characters.
Right.
They say like you have 4,000 characters.
Yeah.
Something I wish the other guys would do a little bit more of.
I mean, think about this. They have created a show about a witch who is in love with a robot. and nobody bats who've had mystical twins
out of nowhere.
And everybody's totally into it. I mean,
and they created a TV show that goes the decades in this little bubble in New Jersey.
I know.
Everyone's like, "Yep."
Yeah, it's just so amazing to me. The power of Marvel. Oh my God. Excuse me, my voice just went gravelly. So anyway, that's all I got for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've come to the end of our show. Be sure to leave a comment below on what your favorite story was of the day. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell for notifications. Do like our program. It really does help us out. Share our posts with your friends and family on your social sites. You can reach us at podcast at Castles, Capes, and Clones. Leave your feedback, both good and bad. We'd love to hear it. You can reach me personally on Twitter at Lojav and on Instagram at Loren Javier. How about you, Rich?
You can find me on both Twitter and Instagram at R2Romasanta.
All right. Well, the opinions expressed on today's vlogcast are solely our own, do not represent the Walt Disney Company, its subsidiaries, or assets. Thanks for joining us, guys, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Yep. Make mine Marvel.